So yeah, good evening, everyone. Let's make sure to, in the course of this conversation, please share the live with other people so that they can join too. So yes, the session for today is basically AI related, and we have our speaker in the building, Evergreen. So she's going to be taking us into the topic, in depth into the topic, thriving as a tech professional in an AI world. And of course, I trust it to be very hi, Ifeanyi. Thank you for joining. Very, very insightful. So please, I would like us to really listen, share our thoughts at the end. She's going to be taking us through the session, and after that, we can have room for questions, thoughts. Share your thoughts, ask your questions. Just converse till the session ends. So yes, Evergreen is here, and she is a senior product designer and mentor, right? Of course, when we say women in tech here, that's who she is. And she's going to be taking us through thriving in the AI world as a tech professional. And of course, key takeaways, taking us deeper into how AI is reshaping career path in tech and what skills now matter the most. Also, practical ways to future-proof your career through continuous learning and adaptability. And lastly, how to work with AI but not against it, to unlock creativity, efficiency, and leadership opportunity. So now, just not to make everything long, I'll welcome Evergreen now for her to introduce herself and then take us into what she has for us today. So thank you so much. Hi, Evergreen, please have the floor.
Hi, thank you, Cindy. Hi, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Uh, Glad to see the number of people that have joined. I'm Evergreen Odeh. I'm a product designer and also a mentor and a business strategist. So for during my career, basically, I've had to deal with um, founders and other designers and developers and all that. And especially now, I've come to realize that, we're all concerned about, where the future, leads us, what it has for us. Yes. So that's the whole essence of this talk. To tell us that, there's so much opportunity for us, especially us in Africa, with the whole AI wave and how best we can tap into it. So I hope, we're all able to make the most of it. And yeah, at the end of this whole session, once I'm done with my slides and everything, then you can, send in your questions and even contributions. Yeah, because I'd actually like this to be a sort of, discussion because this is something that we're all living in. Yeah. Okay, so let me share my screen now. Okay. So how to thrive as a tech professional in an AI world. By thriving, we mean how to stay relevant, how to be adaptable, because AI as we see it now is not how it's going to be in the future. There's so much more potential, and how to also stay valuable, right, in this era. We all know AI is changing everything, right? It's like the way we work, the way we currently have to work. When you're when you have if you've recently tried to apply for any role, you see that job descriptions are changing. So the way we're meant to work, the way we're currently working, the way we're supposed to learn, and even the way we're supposed to think, they're all affected by AI. And the current tools that we have now, tools that we use for our job, for our roles, they're evolving. And sometimes even these tools actually, like the capacities of these tools are evolving faster than what we're currently doing, say our job title or our job requirements, right? And the way it's looking now, what's basically worked like yesterday may not work like in the nearest future. I'm talking next month and all that. So AI is changing everything, and this change or this shift, I'll call it a shift, is not just in tech alone. It's also affecting everything, like affecting how we live our lives, right? Affecting, how we go about our day-to-day activities and how we can adapt right now It actually matters more than any single skill that we can learn for our jobs. So let's just continue. So a lot of people are asking if AI can do, can do my job, if it can design, if it can write code, if it can plan, if it can, write, then what's left for me? What can I do? I have asked myself this question. I'm sure a number of you have, if not everybody here. So the answer to this is plenty. There is so much, so much, like, for us to do. There's so much left for humans. So it's like the opportunities, the existing opportunities, they are not disappearing, right? The existing opportunities, they are being redefined. Yeah. So as I was saying, there's so much opportunities for us, and it's not like AI is going to take it all away. It's more like AI would make them evolve, right? So as a product designer myself, AI wouldn't necessarily take my job. Yes, there will be a number of things that AI would be able to do. There will be a number of responsibilities that AI would be able to do, but it's not going to take my job in like in the entire sense of taking my job. What basically it's going to do is going to redefine it. So as a product designer, in the near future, it might no longer be called product design, right? It might be called something else. I might no longer have to call myself a product designer. My, my responsibilities will shift. And if I'm not able to adapt quickly, it's possible I'll get left in, I'll get left, let's say left in the background, right? Which is something that none of us want. We want that as this change is happening, if we're not ahead of this change, we're able to, ride along with the change. So currently, many people today are like, I think AI should be one of the fastest things that humans have, picked up. Like the way humans really adopted this whole AI thing. Like I'm talking every aspect, like career wise, day to day life wise. And lots of people, lots of professionals are currently using it to advance their careers. They're tapping into it, they're seeing the opportunity in it, and they're thriving in it. Yeah, there are a number of people who are scared of it, and there are even people who are thriving or looking for ways to thrive amidst their fear, right? But the thing is, you can thrive. Yeah, you can thrive. I can thrive. So as I said earlier, thriving is about, being able to adapt. It's not about, mastering tools. It's not about learning as so many things all at once. It's not about actually picking up all the AI tools you can see. It's about, it's more about how we think, right? So if we want to thrive, then we should learn to work with AI. We should not work against it. We should not think that, oh, we're in a competition with AI. Oh, if AI can do these things, then I want to do this thing better than AI. I see people, I see posts, I've seen quite a number recently. In fact, throughout this year, yeah, here and there, people coming up and saying, oh, I didn't use AI for this. I did this. Yes, but you did this, you spent, 20 hours doing it. Yes, AI isn't going to take away crafts, right? Like AI doesn't take away the essence of craft. But at the same time, AI would, increase your productivity. And if you can, spend 20 minutes getting something done, why spend 20 hours getting it done, right? When imagine if you spend 20 minutes, you have a whole number, like a whole lot more time, a whole lot more hours to think of other things, to even hone, your craft in itself, and think of ways you can complement your craft, right? So when people are scared that AI affects creativity, I actually think it encourages it. Yes. It's just that people tend to rely or over rely on AI and forget that you're actually the one behind, behind the steering. You're the one with the power to, move this thing, right? So we have to stay curious and keep learning if we want to thrive. Things are changing. Uh, this revolution, this AI revolution, is really fast, and people are really adapting to it really, really fast. And if you want to stay afloat, if you want to stay ahead, if you want to thrive, you need to be curious and you need to keep learning. And also, if you want to thrive, you need to focus more on creating value. So I know that in our workplaces, we have certain responsibilities, we have certain day-to-day tasks that, we have to carry out. But instead of being just a task doer, see yourself as someone who creates value with your tasks. Always ask yourself, what's the end goal? It doesn't matter how minute your tasks currently are. Even if you're even if you're working at a front desk or a secretary or something, you need to look at the bigger picture. So in the larger sense of things, what value can I create? How can I add to the existing value? How can I add more value and all that? So focus on creating value. Think of how am I going to create value and not just, do tasks. So a modern tech professional, that's a professional who wants to thrive, right, should have these three core abilities. You should be able to adapt, you should be able to think in systems, and you should possess human intelligence. So these three core abilities, that's what I'm going to call them, they're what will define the modern tech professional. So being able to adapt to the changing times, like you're learning, right? You're learning your craft, but you're not just solely focused on that. You're learning your craft, but you're also keeping your eyes peeled for, for changes in your environment, for changes in technology, for changes in your job description, your responsibilities, and also thinking in systems. Thinking in systems, that is knowing how, things work with other things. So, let's say you're a developer and thinking in systems for a developer would mean, okay, you have to think something simple as designing a website. You need to know how your website would connect with or influence, other things relating to it. You need to know how and think about how your website which you're building or the infrastructure which you're using would, influence other things and how it would interact with like, let's say the bigger sense of things or the bigger picture, right? And human intelligence, I'm talking human judgment, I'm talking your empathy, I'm talking context, right? Context awareness. I'm talking ethics. So AI isn't going to like take all these away from you, especially your human intelligence. It's not going to take it away. It can mimic it, it can try to replicate it, but it can replace it. And these three things, these three core abilities, these are your human edge. Yeah. These are your edge as a human. These are what you need to thrive. We're also going to look at other things that would aid in you thriving, aid in you not being left behind. Yeah. So let's next. Okay. So right now, every one of us, every professional, not just in tech, has to experience this mindset shift. So you need to move from this side to this side. So instead of thinking I need to master a tool, instead of thinking I'm a designer or I'm a developer, or instead of thinking, oh my God, AI is like a huge competition, it's going to take my job. You need to start thinking, I need to master how to think, I need to master how to adapt. You need to start thinking I'm a problem solver, I'm not just a designer or a developer. I am a problem solver. I seek, ways to, add value, right? I seek problems to solve. I look for solutions. I'm a solution bringer. And instead of thinking, oh, AI is a competition, you're thinking AI is a collaborator. It's not a competition. It's a collaborator. It's what I can use, to collaborate. AI can greatly aid you. At the beginning, I had a number of friends who were very, very skeptical. I'm sure we all have this one person, one or two people or three that, oh, I'm not going to use AI at all. I will never use AI like at all. I'm going to do everything by myself. I won't rely on AI. Well, I think maybe you should go meet them and be like, bro, how far? So yeah, so we have three growth levers. So let's look at it as three areas that will determine how far we as tech professionals will go in this new age, in this new world. So these three are your skill evolution, your mindset shift, and your network leverage. We'll look at each one. So I think first one is skill evolution. So skill evolution, that is you evolving your skills. So you're moving from just mastering your craft, you're moving from being this badass, developer, this pixel perfect developer to mastering it, not just mastering it, but also staying curious and looking at, okay, what is changing? How can I, staying curious. What do I learn, right? And you're also learning how AI interacts with your field. Every one of us, there is one, there are multiple ways which we can use AI or which AI is supposed to interact in our field. I feel like staying curious is one of the most important things because sometimes if you're unwilling to adopt AI, it can actually affect how you work. Imagine you're in a company and you're you're someone who you're part of a team and you're that person who doesn't want to adopt AI, right? You're not receptive of it. That can actually affect how your product would evolve. So whereas other teams are thinking of ways to enhance their products, ways to solve problems with AI, it could affect you thinking in that direction. It could actually prevent you from thinking in that direction. Because in your head you'd want to, go the traditional way, go the manual way, and that would really affect your solution. And in the end affect your product. And which would come back to bite you in the butt. So also take micro courses. Right now, I advise people to learn fast. Yeah, so learn these skills that you need fast and look at other skills. Other skills that do not necessarily have to be like your technical skills, other skills like soft skills, other skills like, how to use AI efficiently, prompt engineering and all that. So I advise people to take micro courses, short courses, and practice a lot. Yeah. I think now is no longer the time for you to take, these courses and specializations that take like months to complete. If you can get something fast, even as a mid-level professional or a senior professional, so just get something fast, something that you can use to upskill quickly, and still focus on other things and keep on practicing. Then I think the next one is mindset shift. So we look at, moving from one mindset, an old mindset to a new mindset, which is, seeing AI as a collaborator. And now we're going to talk about learning in public, right? So I am, I would say I'm an introvert, but I'm not exactly sure. Well, yeah, well, I like my quiet, I like my privacy, but at the same time, I'm aware of the advantages of learning in public, of building in public, like of sharing, sharing your progress as you go. It's it's one very powerful thing that we have at our fingertips now, and if we're not making use of it, that's really, really bad. So learn in public. This will not just, help you establish your knowledge. It would also help you establish um, would I say your expertise. Yes. So share insights, write about what you're learning, even teach about what you're learning because teaching really helps. Teaching really helps. All my time, mentoring and teaching, I have seen like a lot of improvements. Yeah. I think I've seen a lot of improvements in myself because teaching has helped me stay curious. So there's a particular stage a professional could get to where it's like they get on they're on equilibrium. They just like it's like the career just balances out. So if care is not taken, that person's career could just go down there. Because we have so many things. We have our jobs and other responsibilities. So we need to stay curious and lots of other mentors, even my own mentor has told me about this, how, he actually appreciates being able to mentor because it helps him stay, so like there's so many tools that he has gotten access to, just from teaching and mentoring him. And also experiment continuously. Like this is also on staying curious. Try out new things. Don't just stick to your old tools or old way of doing things. Try out new things. Then lastly, network leverage. So build communities around your learning. Let your learning not be a solo thing. This building community around your learning is also tied to learning in public. Because if you're learning in public, if you're sharing your insights, you're also building a community, right? And this would help you to stay accountable. Yeah, this like will really, really help you stay accountable. Also collaborate across roles. Advise um you emerging, professionals to collaborate with. Like we all have friends. You have that if you're a designer, you have that friend who's a developer. You probably met at one tech event or something. You have that friend who's a PM. Off like unofficially of like this is not related to any job. Just collaborate. It's a win-win for everybody. You tell them, okay, let's work on this together. I have this idea, and in the end, everyone has something. You get the experience, they get the experience, you get the results and all that. And it also helps you, it's kind of like a simulation of things in real life, right? It's kind of like a simulation of things in real life. Also, seek projects that stretch you past your comfort zone. Yes, seek projects that stretch you past. I think there was a particular time that everybody was, doing savings and budget planning apps as their pet project. So I know that we all want to work in fintech, right? But if you're going to do, projects, personal projects, or try out things, relating to a certain goal or a certain field, try to challenge yourself. Do something that will take you out of your comfort zone. Do something that will make you think. Because right now, thinking is very, very important for us as humans. Our ability to think is what will set us apart. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I mentioned the human edge. So I think this part of the human edge, this is focused on human intelligence. So this empathy, ethics, creativity, leadership. I think I haven't mentioned leadership before. This is a huge edge for us. I think I'll stress on leadership. So we as humans, we're both leaders and followers, right? We have the capacity to lead and we have the capacity to follow. And in wherever setting you see yourself, there'll always be a need for a leader. In using AI tools, there'll be someone who needs to take the lead, and this is your edge and your creativity, right? Your creativity, please, no matter what, stay creative. If not, I then AI would actually take your job. So stay creative, think, allow yourself to move out of your comfort zone, allow yourself to move out of your box. Check if you have any, mental boxes that you put yourself in, and challenge yourself to think out of those boxes, right? And also ethics. This is one of the most important aspects of AI that humans need to really pay attention to. Ethics. We need to pay attention to whether or not we are using AI for good. How are we using AI? And we need to also make sure that we are following and abiding by the regulations that are already in place, and also making sure that we're actually setting regulations that would help the world use AI properly. Because anything in this world can be a weapon. And if AI is turned into a weapon, it will be a weapon of mass destruction. And lastly, empathy. Empathy. It's what makes us human. It's your ability to put yourself in someone else's shoes. AI can't do that. Your feelings. As a designer, this is something that has really, really helped me. Yes, empathy. It makes you think of things that other people would not. It makes you think of things that an AI would not. Yeah, so I just want to, talk about, examples of like real professionals that are currently thriving. So I got a number of, images here and just a few examples. So you have a developer who explains ideas clearly to non-tech teams. I know that it can be challenging for developers to, to speak, let's say non-technical speak, like you have to speak normal speak. So if you're that kind of developer, the one that can easily explain, something to your designer, explain something to your founder, and they easily get it. That's like a superpower. You realize that you become your founder's best friend, you become designer's best friend, like you be everybody's best friend, really. So before you were a developer, there was a particular time you were not a developer. Yeah. So I think this is also where empathy comes into play now. Then as a designer who understands product strategy, so we as designers, we're used to, okay, if it's not pixels, then it is the user, right? But now I want you to think outside of the user and your tool, Figma, whatever. Now think of the product itself. How will that product do in the market? I think someone said that designers nowadays will be like product managers on steroids. It's someone said so like think of don't just box yourself um into design, yeah, into UI design, into user experience design. Instead think of the product. Okay. And this is when you need to start learning like terms like your product market fit, but make yourself knowledgeable of product strategy. Like so this would actually give your team members a lot of confidence in you. It would also give your founder a lot of confidence. I know that designers a lot are relegated to like decide, you know, when it comes to like product strategy, and that has to change. A lot of designers are being set apart. But this one is even real life just because of this alone. And yeah, as a writer who is using AI for speed, but not using AI to like, but they're using their authentic voice. I know nowadays we're coming upon a lot of, it's by the grace of God that a lot of us are still using our authentic voices to write. I mean, we've seen how on X, you see people actually getting charged to give them replies, right? So that's wrong. And I think writers who adopted AI early are actually finding it challenging to write maintain their authentic voice. But if they can, and that is a huge superpower for them. And a PM who is a good leader, a PM who knows how to motivate the team and inspire the team. And aside from that, a PM who is knowledgeable with AI. Yeah. I know that nowadays PMs are picking up, vibe coding and all that. I've been seeing a lot of, classes and seminars for PMs, and I think I even saw it on one job description at one time. Yeah, product managers. And for a founder who is building, it's not just, building with AI, scaling their products with AI and not fearing it. And I think this is where founders have to be careful and because I realize that most of the time, a lot of founders just want AI, like they don't care how, just put it in. And people tend to use AI without caring if it's actually solving, a problem a person needs or not, or if it's just useless. So these are basically ways, and depending on your career, your job, you can find a way you can maximize the use of AI and still maintain your uniqueness, still maintain your edge, and if you haven't found it now, still develop an edge. Okay, so in Africa right now, I think before COVID, when remote work wasn't really that popular in Africa, we faced a lot of challenges like getting international job roles. We're still facing challenges getting international recognition, but I feel like AI is going to level, like, in fact, not it's going to, it's already leveling the playing field. So right now, because of, because we now have access to remote work, although that's not as much as I would hope, but we have access right now. And it is said that Africa has the fastest growing youth population, like really. I've spoken with, entrepreneurs who have confirmed this and they're like, the youth population in Africa is like, they're seeing so much potential. Like, and now is actually a time for us to turn from jobless youths to youths that can actually make a change, right? So, and AI is like the equalizer for us. We have what we need, in my opinion, would be all we need to make a change, to make global impact, would be internet access, would be a curious mind that would push us, to keep learning and keep improving. All we need is a community, which I would say we have, and we need a bias for action. We need a bias for action. So then how to start? So right now, if you're if you're asking yourself, okay, how can I start to thrive, right? The first thing you need to do is look at your career, look at your life, okay, map out your AI touch points. Okay, what are the different AI, areas of my life that I can optimize with AI, right? Look at them and build at least a 15-minute daily learning habit. Read, read. Reading helps. Practice something new, learn something new, and practice 15 minutes, 13, 30 minutes daily. If it's continuous, like the end results compound. And when you look back, like let's say you started something, started learning first of in November, and you look back at, or you start learning tomorrow, and look back at the end, and you see so much improvement, so much improvement. Also, create mini projects. Yes, yes. So, create mini projects. It's not by how large the project is. I think the importance is how relevant, yeah, your project is to like the present day. How relevant is it? It could be just one feature that would make a whole lot of difference, in a particular product. How relevant is your product? And also, I think another thing you should consider is how scalable is your project. Yes. So remember that when you're building something for like the whole world, you always have to consider scalability. You always have to consider scalability. Then also mentor and collaborate. Teach. Even when you're just posting your learnings, you might actually be mentoring someone online, right? And try to collaborate whenever you can. So I think we'll look next at daily habits that, or rather, yeah, that we can pick up. Let's say we want to start on Monday. We want to start here. So if we wanted to, start on Monday, and so I think the first thing we need to do is to map our AI touch points, and then pick one AI tool. Pick one AI tool. Just you've already mapped out your touch points. Then look for tools that that could help in that particular area, and pick one core skill. It doesn't have to be not a non-technical skill, right? Even if, or it could be prompt engineering or something non-technical, or like not a tool. Pick a skill that you know that, okay, this particular skill would really, really, elevate my career, and just pick that and learn it before the end of this year. It really is possible to do that in 1 week. And for your thinking, stop thinking, what do I do next? Or what project can I do? Start thinking, what value can I create, right? What value can I add? Stop thinking, what project is in vogue now, and start thinking, what can I do, or start thinking what problem, yeah, is very critical right now. Yeah. I think this should be the last part of my slide. Okay, I think this last. So I'll just leave uh, this last sentence. So in a world where AI can do almost everything, and we're getting to that, what remains most valuable is actually what makes us human. And I mentioned our human edge. The things that make us human are our most valuable traits right now and in the future. Hey, so yeah, we've come to the end, and thank you so much for listening with me. I'm sure I see some questions. Yeah. And while we're asking questions, I'm going to leave this slide here. So if you want to connect with me, you can scan the code. You'll get taken to a page where you see any link you want to. Okay, so let me look at the messages. Okay. So I think um if I asked any relevance of AI to localized farmers. Okay. So I'm guessing what you mean is how I think this is already like happening. Uh, some Sundays ago, I was in a kind of seminar, yeah, where they were talking about farming and AI. AI is very, very, very relevant. I think there's this particular type of farming they practice in, is it Israel? More or less like There's targeted farming where they use AI to like, so it's like they treat their crops. I can't remember the term for it, but they treat their crops like as single, yeah, single crops. There's a number of ways, and there are a number of problems. I think what you need to ask yourself is, what are the problems that are critical to localized farmers now? Is it transportation? Is it storage? Is it harvesting? Is it just look at those problems and then think of how can AI actually help? AI can do a lot of things. It can help you form patterns. There are a number of things AI can do. And so that's why it's also important for us to, stay updated on the capabilities of AI. I hope I've answered your question. If I okay. Okay. So I think I can't see any
Yeah,
other.
yeah. Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Welcome. Yeah, Vanessa, please you can unmute.
Okay. Hi, Evergreen, and thank you for that
Hi.
presentation. I really followed, and it was very awesome. So you talked about competing with AI, using AI tools instead of competing with them, and I think I see that vibe a lot. For example, there's some companies that have AI policies.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I do more writing in tech. And sometimes I come across companies that have AI policies when it comes to writing. Like some will say outrightly they don't want AI tools. They just want you doing stuff manually from scratch. And others would have their own like guidelines. So what are your thoughts on that?
Okay, so I think what should stay to me, I believe what should stay um regardless of whatever policies. I feel like, okay, take Grammarly for instance. Almost anyone can use Grammarly. Right? It's an AI tool. Yeah, like it has become an AI tool. In fact, it has always been an AI tool. You can use Grammarly to, edit. So what I do for my writing is I write, and how I use AI is I use AI mainly for grammar, and sometimes you can use AI for like um for ideating. So at one point in my life, at one point in my career, I learned about, like writing techniques and all that. And I'll just bounce off those things with, with AI and be like, okay, how would this technique work with this and how is this work? I feel like even those companies that have these policies, at some point, they would have to like get more lax. But what should remain unchanging should be authenticity, because I think that's what they're trying to, to prevent, like plagiarized writing, from AI and all that. So if you're able to stay authentic, if you're able to keep your authentic voice, make sure that if anyone takes that write up and puts it anywhere, it would feel like you have this consistent, authentic voice, this humanity. I think I was thinking of something in writing. So back then, I think even now, if you read, we used to read books, these novels that I think the best novels for me were those novels, those books, not just novels, like books that I could feel the writer. Like I could feel, oh, this person, I love the way this person writes. This person will write. There's this particular newsletter that I really, really love, and I look forward to it every week because it feels like I'm actually listening to someone talking. Like I can get the personality, almost the character of the writer just from the article alone. So if you're able to maintain your voice, maintain your authenticity, and keep that consistent, I feel like you won't have any problems. Yes, just have a consistent voice. I don't know if this has answered your question.
Yeah, it did. It did.
Yeah.
And I also want to add that probably it depends on the type of writing. We have
Mm,
different types of
that's true.
writing. Yeah, for example, if I'm documenting an API,
Mm-hmm.
there's really not much, should I say,
Personality. and
Yeah.
just put it
The
inside.
hub. Okay, this is what this does. This is what this does. So a
Yeah.
developer can just come in and see what they have to see and just go, because they're mostly like trying to manage time and all. So yeah, I get your point, and yeah, thank you.
But you're more context aware, right? So like you as a human that is writing that, if you're writing it by yourself, there'll be certain things that you'll be able to consider which an AI might not. Yeah.
Right, right. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So any other question? I think we have.
Okay, thank you very much,
I have a
Evergreen.
question, please.
Okay,
Okay.
please go ahead.
Yeah, please. I just want to ask, like, because what you said just now is something that I really hope to achieve, feeling the writer in like an article. So, can you tell me the name of the article or newsletter? I just want to
Okay. So
learn, basically.
all right. So there's this I've forgotten the name though. It's like it's a design competition. PAADC. Yeah, so it's a design competition that is held yearly, and then they have this newsletter that they push out. And yeah, just search for Professor something something design competition. Yeah, PAADC. Just that, those are the initials. PAADC. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
So
right.
I sent you a connection request on LinkedIn, just in
All
case
right,
you have like a link. You can send it.
all right, all right.
Yeah. Thank you.
So yeah, you're welcome.
Okay, guys. If we have any other question, please drop it in the chat box, or you can just raise your hands and we can take that. But please note the session will go off in 10 minutes exactly. But if you have any other question, if there's anything you'd like to add, maybe, anything. But from my end, let me just ask before we actually end the session. I know that,
Okay.
um, yes, definitely, the world is, running as fast as it can when it comes to like AI. And now this is to like employers, because I know that as much as we are career persons, or maybe professionals in whatever it is we do, we have employers, we have people we work with, and even before AI, we already have things that we use as research, our go-to research stuff, maybe Google,
Yeah.
things like that, where we pick things from. And people don't, employers, people we work with, they don't really have issues with that. But since the era of this AI, and people now know that anything you want, I might not be a software engineer, but I can code with AI, right? I can build a
Yeah.
software to an extent. But it feels more, I don't want to say threatened, but it feels more like employers are like, don't use AI, don't do this. This thing has always been in existence, but not just as pronounced as this. We've always had
Yeah.
Google to like go to for
Yeah.
everything. Why are they so particular? They don't even want to adjust. Not all of them, but some of them. You write something for them and they be like, oh, it is AI. Lecturers, this happens when it comes to education too. You write a project, you do this, all because we have something that actually helps combine everything together in a place. They have the issues with that, and they be like, "Oh, why are you using this? This is AI." Sometimes you even try you use AI to write things, and at the end of the
Yeah.
day, of course, you use AI to write something, and with your sense and all those things, you try to adjust, do all the proofreading and all those things. And I don't know, whatever app they take that through, you still get flagged, right? You still get flagged. So what exactly do they want, right?
Yeah.
Because I know that, especially for writers, it's not like you can write everything from your head like that. Research at the end of the day. But
Mm.
now AI is making research very, very easy for everybody. But employers or people we work with are not ready to adjust. So in situations like that, what do you think can be done? Or how
So
can we approach something like that?
okay, so I think for the area of research, I wouldn't say AI is like 100% reliable. So like you can use AI. Yes, I use AI for research, but at the same time, there's there's a limit to how much scraping an AI can do. So there are times I have to like conduct the research, and what I need is I need comments from people. And I have to like go where those comments are. It could be on Reddit, it could be on YouTube, and you see me, I'm just scrolling through comments, noting, like patterns and all that. So in as much as AI is making things, easier, and we should use it, I believe that in research it's not yet there. Not yet there. So there's still the need for like, going, to where everybody is, going to where the people are, right, and doing it. And this whole thing of, this plagiarism checker, AI checker, whatever. This is like the headache of students too. And I've also encountered this. So there was this particular thing I had to write, and I took it and put it in an AI checker, and it flagged it, and I was like, what kind of like so I think that for that, there's actually nothing you can do. Yeah, just try your possible best to write like yourself. Yeah, because even those AI checkers, they're AI too, and they're not perfect, right? And for founders, professors who are late adopters, I'd say it's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time. Like really, it's just like with everything in this world. When cars came out, when automobiles came out, there are people who didn't want to use it. Maybe some people swore they would never ride a car in their entire life. But in the end, they either grew old and never got to ride one, or they had to adjust. So I feel it's a matter of time. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. That really actually answers everything. And I believe that every one of us in the room learned one or two things. So in 5 minutes, we are going to be ending the session. And I just want to say thank you so much, Evergreen, for sharing a whole lot of, giving us the knowledge back to back. It was
Thank
really,
you
really
for
beautiful.
having me.
Thank you so much for thank you everyone for joining. Thank you so much. Thank you, Bright. Thank you, Meshach. Thank you, Ejiro. Thank you, John. Larry, thank you so much. Danny, Ogene,
Thank you.
Carol, Jimmy, Solomon, Vanessa, thank you guys. Thank you so much. Please note that this is not the end of the VIT Career Series session. We have others coming in, you guys can still join, share with people. This is where we come together to learn, to converse, and just get updated on everything happening when it comes to like career and stuff like that. So thank you so much, Vanessa. If Vanessa for thank you so much for that. Thank you, Evergreen. So if you want to connect with Evergreen, you can always connect with her via LinkedIn. And also, if you would like to book a session with her, just go on joinvit.com. That's the VIT website, and you can get to talk to her one-on-one for free, right? You can get to book a free call session with her, a mentorship session with her. So that's it. Thank you so much, guys, for joining once again. And this session is recorded already, and we are going to be having a recap of it, and we'll put that out on our LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, for people to still get to go to it and still take up the knowledge from there. So yes, please follow us on our social media pages too, and you can connect with Evergreen on LinkedIn, on Twitter, she's there, yeah, and on our website. So yes, that's going to be the end for the session today. Thank you so much, Evergreen, for joining us tonight.
Thank
And
you.
everybody have a great weekend. Good night, and yeah, bye everyone.
Bye everyone. Good night.
Thank you so much.